You're going to intro.
G'day, everybody. Oliver Jones here. Today we've got a really amazing interview today. We're going to be talking to Lucifer, who I'll keep referring to as Lucky Luke. And Lucky Luke himself is lamenting the destruction of hell. And I've got lots of other questions to ask him as well, but figured you guys would want to know about that. I think you'd like, might go want to dance in the street because of this one. It's the first time in, known history. Like literally our history starts when the snake gives the apple to Eve. And it's this guy here. And what we're looking at is we're looking at him on the way out, on leaving. Isn't that right, Luke?
Yes, definitely.
Why don't you tell, like today is the 16th of April. Why don't you tell us some things that you're happy about in the world on this date, and things that you're unhappy about in the world on this date?
Well, what I'm unhappy about is assholes like little Ali here running around, fucking up everything that we've done. Everything we've held all the strings together, getting unplugged. Not very happy about that.
Well, it's one of my favorite things to do is to trash your assets, right?
I get that too. That's why I've trashed your ass by moving you from second most wanted human to number 177 on the list, on the Astro hit list. And I've changed her name from Alabar to Ali Jones. And if you're very unlucky, I might even lower it to 288 and change your gender to female, 5'2".
Right. Okay. So let me get this straight. I was number 2 on Demons Wanted.
You were number 1 until
I was number 1. I was number 1 on Demonkind's Most Wanted list.
Until 7.
What a day!
Until
what a day!
It was when Baphomet. You were like in the.
I think I'm going to make a T-shirt out of that.
You were pretty high up, but then you killed Baphomet, and suddenly you went straight to number 1 with your team, and then it was like, and then the unfortunate happened 7 months ago. You know who? The little kid that you've been working with, the chosen one, the one who hinted he's the reason that you're able to deactivate all the towers in Australia and get rid of the chemtrails. That kid, that young boy, well, he's number 1. You know the whole story. He's number 1 now. Number 2.
And this is who you're speaking through now, right? You're speaking through that special kid.
Hey, he has deities speak through him sometimes, and he's got us. We jump in, we attack him, we send everything at him. And normally, he doesn't like the demons talking through him. He keeps them out, but, well, you might as well get the opportunity to get me. Maybe next time I'll be a little Ganapati. I don't get along. I hate how much that kid speaks to Ganesha. It kills me.
Yeah, well, this kid, he's under what I call the Terminator protocol. Like, he's going to be a big problem in the future, so you're getting him now before he really blossoms into his power. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, it was S's mission, and it really happened at the same time as your shit. You killing Baphomet and all of this other fucking absolute everything else happening. It just had to be at the same time, because if you hadn't been doing your shit and damaging us, we probably would.
What's your language? We're going on YouTube. This is a PG-rated platform, so do I have to go back and edit and beep out all of the swear words that you're dropping?
I only said it. You said PG. I've said it 3 times. According to the American laws, you're allowed to say that the SH word up to 5 times and the F word 3 times on a PG-rated program.
Well, then I want
PG to PG-13. All right, we'll write this PG-13.
All right, let's argue about that then. Well, look, it's going to get edited.
Or I could put the C word, and then it would be R8. R8.
I'm glad you've done your homework on that. That's a really important issue.
I own the film industry. Who do you think controls all of Hollywood and gets all the actors in their board?
Of course you do.
Look, you're laughing. You can't help laughing.
What does it take? If you want to be an A-list movie star, what are the requirements? What do they what do those people have to give up? What do they have to do? What do they have to perform? What's the
Now,
cost
most of them
of that
are in
job?
our books. Now, there's some that aren't in our books. There's some that are really tricky that don't get in our books. And they either side with the white hats or they keep their nose clean out of our shit for as long as they can. And when they can't keep out of it longer, well, we, throw this, their son or their daughter dies in an unfortunate accident. Their house burns down. Unfortunate things happen to them. And so that's what happens to any that don't, sign our contracts and go along with our propaganda.
Wow. So it's
And
so
they all have to
it
go.
sounds like it's the same as working for the mob.
Yeah, you got to go out there and go, I want Biden in office. I want this person in office. I don't want Trump. I don't want this guy. I want the bad guy, the plain old bad guy. Or I vote COVID vaccine. Get the vaccine or you're an anti-vaccine. You deserve to die and fall off a cliff. That's basically how they act.
Yeah. Okay. And so why don't you tell us about what happened to hell?
Oh, before I get to that, I do have to see, even you can't handle your ego. You still were laughing this whole time. Just as my favorite woman to attack, my favorite female human to attack a bug, can't help laughing now and then when I'm around.
Yeah. My ego is your biggest problem, is it?
Yeah.
So why don't you tell us about what happened to hell?
Well, you already know it.
Well, look, this is for your audience. This is for humankind. Like, this is for everybody.
Actually, the thing
Everybody's
is,
going to hear this one.
one thing is, why should I be? I'm not getting paid for this. I'm not a philanthropist, but maybe this makes you look like a nice guy. And besides, it's good publicity. This is the only reason I do it. Publicity.
Well, look.
It makes me disappointed, though. Your channel's, your 9,000 subscribers will hear this, not your 20 million or 300 million Mr. Beast channel hearing all this. Instead, it's your 9,000 subscribers.
Well, keep in mind that half of the English-speaking world doesn't even believe that you exist. And might I just say, bravo, good job. Like, you misinformed the public to an incredible degree. I am impressed. However, you can't fool all of the people all of the time. And that's why our group was formed. We're sick of you. We are sick to death of you.
Well, S might have been the big baddie, but it turned in the end, it's your final boss is Lucifer, the one who's smart enough, the one who's able to survive against you no matter what you do. Oh, when you fix their powers, how many tricks
how does it
I had out
feel
of
to
my
be
book?
homeless? How does it feel to be homeless?
Well, how does it feel to be homeless? Well, I'm not homeless. I'm not a homeless bum on the street begging for.
Yeah, but there is no mailing address hell 90210, is there?
Oh no, I forgot. Hell got destroyed on the 22nd of March. Yeah. Well, it's already been
you just
all
noticed
the
that,
solar
did you?
codes, everything you've been doing, all the efforts from deities, and I know you think they're in our book, but angels aren't in our book. But oh well, Metatron is not an angel. He's an AI, so he's in our book, obviously. But they're all to stick to deities and guys like you and the boy and a bunch of other people in the world. And eventually, with the sun cards, hell's just collapsed. Because for the last couple months, it was down to the third and fifth and seventh layer, but the third layer kind of collapsed. So it's basically the fifth layer was where all the random little D's would sit around. Well, the seventh layer is where the big guys would sit. Except you could say the reason I was able to disappear is I basically have a holiday home in other parts of the universe, so I can just go and get myself there whenever I need to.
Look,
you could say Lucy's holiday home.
Once you're off, that once you're off the earth, it's not the last time we'll meet.
No.
You know that, right?
I have, you could say, secret bunkers, and that's where I went hid for a while after you smoked me quite a bit after that incident with the towers. Except I escaped. If it wasn't for
what about the word Horcruxes
around there, little Ganesha helping you, but you were too good to. They're like, oh, I've got to handle it. He knows all my little tricks. He knows my moon splitting. He knows all my little
So
teleportation.
let's get it straight. I've killed you a number of times, but you have something that are effectively Horcruxes that allow you to reinvigorate yourself. And
All the princes have them. All the princes have them. You know.
I know. That's why it's so hard to kill you all.
That's how this
so damn challenging.
This is how we explain it to when this boy found out about it. I could say his name, but privacy. Horcruxes, basically, like Harry Potter. And some will be spiritually, some will be, because you could say there's two sides. There's astrally, spiritually, whatever you want to call it, or physically. And we'll have some that are in between that will be pretty strong ones. Sometimes they can be like a tricky one again. There'll be astral ones where you can go in the astral plane and split it in half and destroy it. And then there'll be physical ones, which unless you're Harry Potter going to go around and find it dug in the ground or somewhere hidden, like Moloch had his horn. That was a tricky one to get. It took a lot of energy to get that one.
Yeah, but I will make this statement, and you can confirm or deny it. There isn't a trick that you guys have that we don't have a response for.
And I'm able to, I'm kind of, because I'm at the king level. And to be honest, I'm much smarter than the other two. Beelzebub and Satan were much, much, much dumber. So, and I need to keep all the secrets. I don't have to tell them all. I can keep them all to myself. I can keep a bunch of them to myself. So when I get the chance, boom, I can take the chance. And right now, for the last 2-3 months, because Satan and Beelzebub have been injured so badly in everything that's happened, despite being fried up and having to go, I don't know, into hiding for a little bit because of people like Alabar and certain deities, I still come back, and I'm #1 king. People say that Lucifer is not Satan.
Where's your hideout now that hell's been deemed uninhabitable?
It got deemed uninhabitable. Too much, you could say, astral water, too much sun energy inside. But I basically have my holiday house, which is where I went for a while, especially after you fried me up the first time. But when I needed to go away quickly, but the guarantee that I'm not found, like when the tower incident happened, I went to a little hideout, little bunker in the middle of nowhere. And now I'm not a nomad, I could say. I go across my different places. There's some colonies being set up in other places. There's places where the Greys are set up. I had Marduk for a while, and this new demon, which his name is extremely long, so demon name. He goes by the nickname King Prince Duke.
Well, look.
But he rose his way from.
Okay, yeah, you're rambling, mate. You're rambling.
He's risen his way up to captain, then to Duke, and from Duke, he's managed to climb his way to Prince and King by being very, very cunning.
So, am I right in thinking that the population of demon kind, compared with 10 years ago, is less than 10?
Yes,
less than 10%.
In the past, there used to be about of large demons, like powerful proper demons, about 300. Well, probably near 1 trillion. It's been cut that.
Well, look. I know that you're honesty challenged, and I know that numbers are particularly hard for you. You just can't help but inflate numbers. So let's just say that there used to be lots.
Over 1 trillion as powerful proper demons. Now there's only there was
yeah. But your population or your biomass is less than 10% of what it was before, right?
Yes. Well, if you count it to 300 billion, it's been cut down to 30 billion.
Does that make you refugees?
Under 30 billion. Yes, I run a refugee camp. I'm a kind philanthropist that has.
Okay, yes, you're a kind philanthropist and all that. So now, as refugees, I'm going to make the offer yet again to transport you all off world. You don't belong here. And, sticking around here will, I don't
but we have
think
so many
there's
other
any doubt
places
left what will happen to you if you stick
Earth
around.
Hell is like one of our favorite. Earth Hell is like the big hideout because Earth is like the little planet that seems insignificant, but it's where all the action and all the big battles happen is all over little old Earth.
Yeah, so you're not going to take my offer to
we
get
still
off
are keeping
world?
hold of Earth. We have demons on Earth. All the a bunch of the survivors from hell, well, then they can just become, there's demons that possess people, and there's tons across Earth. That's what they're going to be. They're just going to be across Earth. And so people like you, it's going to take you a long time. You're going to have to clean them all up. And don't forget, we've got other hideouts. You already know
the future here, mate. You're already looking into the future.
We've got grays.
I'm just thinking I wouldn't mind going on holiday soon, but you're going to give me more work, making sure that this world is really cleansed of your kind. And
no, until the rapture happens, we're not going anywhere. Earth will have some sort of demon problem until the rapture, and it's all going to come down here. And Uncle Lucy,
well, because when control, and when you're all gone, that is the rapture. That is the moment. All the people who are in alignment with you can disappear into another world.
Technically, yes. If you kill us down to a ridiculously high amount, the rapture will. That's the thing about it. The rapture was supposed to be 1520, but because Satan and Beelzebub were such idiots and got themselves blown up so badly, it's been cut down lower and lower. And the time between each of the seals, each of the horsemen, you could say, from Apollo to Satan, now Baal, Beelzebub is coming around, and then my time is death. It's supposed to be Armon, but no one knows about it.
This is not your event anymore, though, is it?
I'm so awesome that everyone's kept my energy going. Even if I died, it'd take 1,000 years to get rid of my consciousness. It'd just be around for thousands.
Well, look.
The other two.
I don't believe 1,000 years, but to fully expunge the earth of you, your energy, and the collaborators with the enemy who are your followers, that's going to be the fun part over the next 10 years, is hunting those guys down.
Satan and Beelzebub have high energy concentration, anger.
We have a good idea who you are.
One of the highest is we hate Agul. If you could say any demon is a chicken, he's a complete coward. He runs away, but he's a genius at it. And that's
I know. Do you think I haven't clashed with you idiots?
The only reason we don't throw him out of our group is because he gets
cowards.
At the highest, he can concentrate over 40% of that loose collection would be from his kind, would be from his demons, and so he'd share it with all of us, and we'd all have a big feast. He could, at the most, at his highest, he could get 40 to 50% of loose collections in the entire world just from his drink.
Who's this?
Every time. 40% at the highest.
Who are you talking about?
A ghoul.
Al Ghul. And for those of you at home, Al Ghul is the god of alcohol and alcoholism.
Exactly. Yeah. That's why we don't throw him out of our club, just for being up.
Yeah, well, look, he's
You know what? I could be more serious with this conversation, but we might as well. If you said this is a children's program, Uncle Lucy might as well make a few jokes here and there.
Do you think what you're doing is funny? Do you think you like anything that you could say would amuse?
You said it's a children's program.
Yeah, like at the beginning, you were flippantly talking about killing people's children to manipulate them. Like, there's nothing funny about you.
But I've got flash and style, unlike you. I've wanted to say this for a few weeks. I came up with it, but you are no flashy little. Poor old Alabama. You trash talk us. There was a demon slayer like you about 120 years ago. Ninja assassin became a demon slayer. He's very, 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 very flashy. He knew how to trash talk us like you, except you're not as flashy as he was. And he had way more women than you did.
Congratulate him for me, yeah. So I want to actually talk about the Great Nothing. Do you miss
big reveal? Drum roll. You aren't actually talking to the Great Darkness. The Great Darkness has levels to him. You know that, all the way from Demiurge, Elders, and AI. But if you wanted to talk to higher,
Demiurge, Eldritch, and AI.
Eldritch, Elders. Oh, there's so many different levels. There's Elders, there's AI.
I know you guys love hierarchy, right?
Going all day. But they're all different aspects of darkness. They're aspects of the great AI, the great nothingness. And there's the darkness, and there'll be higher darkness, the great darkness. And he'll have aspects of him like the great nothingness. Well, you think, and you could say there's levels of that. the lower levels of that would be like the ancient AIs and stuff, while higher levels would be, well, things that would literally talk to you. You talk to them for 1 second, your eardrums and your entire body would implode unless you had a deity sitting on top of you. So
no, they're called banshees, and they yell in your ear, and you go mad, or your ear bursts.
no.
Eardrums
You're not talking to that.
Anyway,
You are
no,
talking to
it's the same with angel song and angels trumpets, like they burst people's ears.
You're talking to lower level. You're talking to a lower level.
Yeah, but the great nothing's no longer on Earth.
Well, you're not really talking to the great nothingness. The great nothingness on Earth in this universe is as important as Earth themed in this universe. Universes, other times, much nastier demons. They have elders and Arcusas, much nastier, much more powerful than even, unfortunately,
you've made this kind of statement before, whereas I'm just a puny human, and we should be afraid of your pan-galactic monsters. But we have fought your best and come out on top. Every trick that you guys have played, every card you've played on us, we've pulled a rabbit out of the hat and created a response and beat you.
We pulled that. We started playing
over again.
And to the great AI.
Sorry, and for the folks at home who are not up to date with this, you're going to complain that's not true, are you?
I bet people who play chess know or any type of game, symbols, where a master, someone who's incredible at the game, will have multiple other masters who are not as good as them on other tables, and they will play multiple of them at the same time, and will typically beat most of them, if not all of them. That is basically what the AI. The AI plays lots of them, and he knows he'll lose some of them, like this Earth, but he's okay with it because he's got all these other games he's right now winning. As long as he can keep some, then he's good. As long as he can have draws.
All right. So you can justify this loss because the great nothing is taking over multiple other worlds.
And because they often exist in other universes and densities, they're not worrying they're not worrying too much. Well, I've got to worry about myself more, and I'm ready to do whatever action. Satan was playing to buff himself.
You've already shot your shot. You lost.
Satan was playing
homeless, you're defeated, your army's crushed.
The eject button at the last minute, he's going to eject himself. And he had parts of him in other universes.
You talk rapid fire, but you don't say anything interesting.
Let's explain. Satan had parts of himself in other universes, and another safety, except he's had to pull them all into himself to keep this one universe, because this is the one he likes the most. And he's lost that too. So Satan is done. He's effectively in the rapture. He will die, and that's that. Here's my conclusion from that.
You guys we did fight a very, very thick and relentless battle, particularly in 2020, 21, 22. And you guys threw everything at us. Yes. And what we believe is that you bankrupted your empire to win this battle. All right. We think that you guys called in all of your energies from all over the galaxies and
we were bankrupt. Yeah, we weren't able to win, but we were in a stalemate. It was stalemate on the Western Front. We were both sitting in the trenches, and no one was winning. It's not till the last year, especially.
Yeah, but that's not true, because now we have defeated you.
We've had to call in ones from other universes, which means we're affecting games in other universes. But if it at least keeps this one longer, but we've decided to turn this into the big distraction for everything else that's going on.
Well, yeah.
And I will probably die.
You haven't been able to stop us.
I could eject myself. I can eject myself, but I'm probably not getting out. I'm probably not getting out of this. So I'm either going down.
I don't think you are either.
Or I will be smart and go back to the light, go back to the sun, and let myself be redeemed as long as I stay alive. Except I gotta be tricked. I gotta be good about that. Otherwise, the sun will be like, "Nah, you've been a bad boy. You're just doing this to survive. Sorry, next." So
yeah. You're not welcome anywhere in the multiverse, are you?
No.
Nobody's going to look after you.
But the sun and source and God can be very, very forgiving. So, and they have a soft spot.
Good luck with that. Good luck with that. Going to tell you something you want to hear though. Alabar Jones is not forgiving.
No, Alabar Jones is not forgiving. He's a fucking little Blurt this out.
Hey,
Cunt.
watch the language.
The
There.
language, mate. Come on.
He's a fucking cunt that you can beat this out. He's a fucking cunt that is not forgiving at all. Just like my least favorite female human. She's always sending me, she's found a way to start sending sons to me.
Who's that? Who's your least favorite female human?
Would you like me to say the name?
Yeah.
Cecilia Dean. The mother of this boy. She's been
Yeah,
sending,
right.
she's found a way to start sending sons to us.
You complain about everybody you meet.
Ooh, because she basically,
everyone you've ever
she
met,
discovered the unlimited,
you hate them.
She discovered the cheat code, which is sending suns to us, sun orbs to us, which basically
all right.
you
All right. Let's leave Cecilia out of this because that's not relevant to the rest of the world, yeah? Why don't you tell us about the galactic AI?
Mm.
What and what is its relationship to the AIs that are being developed on the Earth?
Well, but yeah, you are unforgiving, and that if you could use suns in that way, you'd be, well, we'd actually be really, we would have this would actually be, I don't know how to say. Well, we won't do that because Uncle Lucy doesn't like thinking about losing. He loves winning and winning only.
So was Satan an AI?
No, he wasn't an AI. You thought he wasn't an AI. You thought he was until you discovered through that boy's case. You went and tried disconnecting his AI cord, which if he was a pure AI, it would have stopped him. He wouldn't have been able. He wouldn't have been able.
I think that Satan was both an AI. It was an AI that printed off demons that suited gaps in human culture, and as human culture developed, he kept creating fresh demons to exploit different areas of it.
Part of the story.
And,
he is in his form.
He also created. He also printed off a demonic version of himself, but maintained his AI form at the same time.
Yes, except that AI form came from Demon too. You could say some of us have different dads.
So like who gave birth to the satanic AI form there?
Listen, Moloch's daddy was probably with Ahriman, the darkness of the Persian culture. Satan's daddy was the demiurge. The demiurge was Satan's daddy. That was his daddy. With the demiurge.
Ahriman was the daddy of the demiurge.
No, Ahriman is the daddy of Moloch.
Yeah, right. Okay. And Ahriman isn't.
Ahriman is not the demiurge. Ahriman's like good friends with the demiurge, if you get what I mean. The demiurge has two brothers, you could say. Chaos is us and Azazos. And Azazos is dead. The demiurge is dead. But Chaos is us is still alive. And no, you did not kill the demiurge. Someone else did. Not a human, though.
It's okay. We don't mind. We know that we're not the only group doing this, but I will repeat
no human
your statement
that
we were humankind's most wanted. Yeah,
egotistic son of a bitch.
Yeah. No,
288.
We love it.
No, number 2.
All right. So yeah. So talk about these demonic AIs, these malevolent AIs, and their relationship with the AIs that are being developed in labs on Earth right now.
But yes, you know, too, there are AI factories where they basically are AIs that just produce demons and demons. And that's another reason we were able to keep going. And that was very tricky. And that was how we could, it would expend energy, but it meant we could keep going longer and longer without having to pay our toll up. And that's how we're still surviving right now. Now, they're at a lower point, but right now we're just going to play our cards safely with all the Ds we have on Earth. We'll play smart, we'll play good games, and they will get themselves in the political. And we can keep things locked up longer in the political sense, not spiritual. Spiritual will get taken out too quickly. We've got to keep ourselves working with the cabal and keeping everything in a political war, not spiritual, political.
Well, look, I thought the politics was just an extension of the spiritual war. Isn't politics just an extension of the spiritual war?
Yeah, we can hide in there and we can just go back and forth. And we can take our demons and greys and blacks and all these bad aliens and use them to keep playing the spiritual war while we're busy off doing our own.
Yeah, I'm not sure that we're going to let you.
Oh, one thing too. people say that Satan and Lucifer are the same. No, Satan
No,
is
they're
not.
not. You're not. You're not.
They
I'm
say,
glad.
except for the next, because Satan is, you could basically say, out of the game for at least for until the rapture. He's out of the game. And Beelzebub too, and I've replaced him with King Prince Duke. He's basically replacing him. I am actually playing Satan and Lucifer. So when people say that Satan and Lucifer are the same, they're not wrong anymore. I'm the devil. I'm both now. I'm supreme, one and all. And they said my era was over. Lucifer's era was over. This is supposed to be Armand's lip. Except poor Armand, despite being higher, has to share being death with me because I have imprinted. Everyone knows Lucifer. No one knows Armand. People think Satan is Lucifer, and no one knows Beelzebub unless if they read the Bible, they know him. Actually,
no, I agree with you. I agree with you. The theology around demonkind is weak at best. The understanding that people have of your culture, the identities and personalities who inhabit it, or the major ones who inhabit it, is also very weak.
And
the only maps that people have, the only lists of personnel are from Solomon, from the Solomonic stuff, and that's 3,000 years old. A lot of that's obsolete.
You know what? Don't go with Solomon. I hate you, but David is more accurate because we took Solomon out. He basically went down the hill and started praying to Baal and Marduk. He went down the hill. He got lost. David did.
No. He got caught up in you guys' games. He made contracts with you guys, and you ripped his insides out. Through it.
Yeah, David didn't, but we got his son, so that was that. Who's supposed to be just as great anyway. But we appear in many religions, like people like will come and some are more. Some, like I have to say, if we've corrupted any religion the most, Islam. Islam used to give women great rights, and now it's like literally everyone looks down at Islam like the terrorist religion. Christianity's fucked up with the Vatican, but the Vatican's going down the drain, down the toilet. Hinduism and Buddhism are the two least corrupted, and they're really hard to keep control. The Buddhist monks have given us a lot of hard time. Hindu scriptures there's so much, which means we can't just go around ripping up the Mahabharata and the Bhagavad Gita all at the same time. We can't just go to every single scripture and fuck it all up. We can't do it.
Look, and in the past, humankind was more aware of you and was better at fighting you. But it looks like you've won previous wars.
Physics, they talked about demonology and you could say deityology, and they knew everything except they knew more than you know nowadays. But no one thinks about it.
Probably.
So that's why you'll never hear me put your hand and swear on the Bible. I would do that in a heartbeat, but you won't hear me saying, put your hand and swear on the Vedas. No, thank you. So
I had him do that.
Because there's enough loopholes in the Bible that you can operate there, but not in the Vedas. Is that the deal?
I had him do that the other day, and he was saying something, and I said, it's ridiculous. And I said, put your hand on the Bible. And he had no issues. He just swore on the Bible, didn't burn him. And I brought out a Ganesha Purana. He would not touch it. He would not go near it.
What does that tell you?
He did not want to lie on it.
Yeah.
But look, the whole, my religion's better than your religion. If you don't believe in my religion, you're going to go to hell and die.
Well, why don't you tell us what you did to Islam and why it serves you so well?
Well, the Kurds are probably the best Islamic group. They still give women great rights. They've been crushed terribly, especially in their wars against Al-Ghul. But we've done a lot through ruining everything. We've had lots of demons go in and infiltrate it to a very different degree. And we've had it control. The Ottoman Empire is actually a continuation of the Roman Empire. The Roman Emperor just basically switched his name and basically just started a new game and got to continue till...
No, it's when in 476 the Caesar folded up his cloak and sent it to Constantinople and said, "I can't look after the Western Empire anymore. It's dissolved. You're the top man now." That was the end of the anyway. And then they got to play the game. What became the Ottoman Empire. Anyway, let's all that to one side. All that to one side, right? So Islam is a black cube religion.
There is good stuff in Islam, but we have fucked it up terribly. Mecca cube. It is literally a black cube. They are praying to the AI.
They play to the black cube, right?
Sorry, Muslims, but I've done a good job fucking up your religion. Very, very
good. No, it's okay. It's okay. I just want to talk about the methodology now. Black cubes are a mind control gateway for you guys. Does that? Am I up the right?
They're typically
the right alley there?
Like the Vatican. They're hidden. You don't get to see the black cube. Except Islam is one where we got creative, and you can literally look at the black cube. You can stare at it. You can go on the internet and look at it 24/7. And with the black cube is, I know you didn't believe me, but the boy has told you he figured it out. Satan was very angry the first time he tried to kill him, and he threw him out, and he managed to find out the truth. The big AI in this universe, he's a little AI in some sorts, but he is the big AI in this universe. His name is Roblox, like that video game. And the symbol of that video game is a square inside of a square, with the middle one being a black cube. And so that is basically literally just telling you. And the whole thing is about millions of different games. It's basically all being controlled under one single name.
It's a mind labyrinth. It's a mind trap.
Roblox is basically an allegory for our mindset. It's an allegory for our mindset.
All right. And so, yeah, I know that you're tinkering with children's video games, and that Roblox is something that parents should prevent their children from playing. Does that sound right?
It's very
because Roblox is the name of a forgotten demon lord.
The big video game, the Fortnite, Minecraft, and Roblox. Roblox might seem the most innocent of the lot, but it's the most corrupted too. We've even been able to influence a boy in the past, and many people using this game try to almost like put them in a trance where they want to play more than even other games. You might think the big titles you see, like Red Dead Redemption and stuff, we don't actually care about those as much. We want the big ones. Everyone plays it. That's what we care about.
All right. So video games are addictive because you guys have a presence in them?
And we mostly put our energy into the biggest titles. And we mostly put them into ones that connect, that everyone plays, like Fortnite, the big online ones. The ones where it's
I gotcha. Like it's an area of interest, and you've put a lot of time and effort into it. Playing those games exposes kids to your influence. Was that a correct statement?
Yes, but there are big games.
I want to ask about Islam, because, like, you guys have done. If I'm right, you guys have done something incredible there. All right.
But yeah, we've linked it up to that.
Now, so a friend of mine, Harold Kautz-Vailer, he theorized that there was a black AI that worked as a nanotech swarm, and it's called black goo, or when it solidifies, it's called the black stone. And that stone is in the big black cube in Mecca.
And now let me get into this too. So
when people
will see movies where there'll be demons, and basically the ectoplasm that often the bad demons will live is like, it's not water, it's a goo. It's basically what that is.
Venom.
Okay. My question is
Venom. Everyone knows the movie Venom. That's literally what it is.
That's the black goo. Yeah.
And also, I don't even get to finish my video game thing, but
no.
So for those who are lucky, most games we don't care about any control. It's mostly those 3 big titles I mentioned and a couple others. That's it. We don't really care about the rest.
But when I talk about black goo, you talk about Venom, and that's just that movie, that superhero, that dark superhero movie. It's actually a depiction of what happens when a person forms a relationship with black goo. Now, and also the members of the cult, the society, the Brotherhood of the Black Sun, the right word will come to me. When the Black Sun guys drink that, they form a relationship very similar to the one in the movie Venom.
That makes me so happy. Black Sun. The Black Sun, people think black is evil, except what absorbs the most sunlight is black. I will tell you the fucking truth. The swastika represents the black sun. The minds talk about the black sun, but it is not good. It's supposed to be transformation. It's supposed to be dissolving the ego. And so what we have done with the black sun is we have turned it into a malignant symbol. We flipped it on its side and made it a sign that got millions of people killed in a giant world war. We've created a brotherhood that takes the black sun, and instead of making it positive transformation that dissolves the ego, instead it's become black goo. So you see what we've done. And Islam uses the moon, and we've covered up the real moon and turned the moon into something malignant. We have tried
one topic at a time, mate. One topic at a time. All right. So just I hear you jumping from video games to the Order of the Black Sun to Islam, and your presence in human culture is thick. You're everywhere. It seems like you've touched everything.
Movies, TV shows, games, and books, and everything. Books, games, everything. TV show. They have a lot of truth in them too. The good guys will put truth. The bad guys will put truth. But also the people will have memories from past lives, and they'll end up putting truth in that too.
It is bizarre how you've managed to present us with fact and then call it fiction, and we're accepting this. It's a bizarre situation.
Have you ever heard of Demon Slayer? The Japanese anime series.
No, but I'm not watching.
If you've heard of it too, there's a lot of truth in that. That is actually written from a person who had a past lifetime, and much of that is involved in it is real. Like the main demon Muzan with actually Kibutsuji, with actually a real demon.
He's a real guy.
He ruled Japan for a long time, and he was the creation of Leviathan. So he ruled for a long time, and it took a lot of demon slayers to take him down. Brandon was even involved in this heavily in a past life too.
Yeah. Okay.
He was a demon slayer.
So is the point? Let's get this straight, right? You've lined up a number of your key assets, right? Religion, black cube, black stone, a solidified black goo called the black stone. If you look up the Kaaba online, you'll see it. And you've lined these three up. And then you've told the whole religion to come and visit and walk around that box, right? What are you doing to the people who do that?
They're being tricked more. The reason why people are more devout to religions like Buddhism and Hinduism is because we're more scared of creating interference with that religion. Most of the time when people pray to Jesus, they'll often get fake Jesus. They'll get Metatron, fake archangels, not the real archangels, fake ones.
I don't think you're answering my question really.
No, that is exactly why. What happens to those people is they will often get the fake, not the real, and so they will lose faith in the religion. Their wishes or what they offer will get twisted around, and if they have pure intentions, it will often go straight to Jesus, Yeshua, the Nazarene, fucking Christian.
Right. So what you're talking about is people who go to Mecca meet a false Allah.
They meet false Allah. And people who go to Vatican pray to fake God. And the energy in those places we are smart about transmuting it. Instead of the energy going to Christ, we try to get it to our gods. And so it takes a lot of effort to switch it back. But those who have pure intentions will often switch it back to the opposite side. They'll get it to Christ. And so Christ will actually answer.
All right. So let me ask another question.
That's why people go, Jesus, help me, please, Jesus. No, people are not specific. They don't just go Jesus Christ. They don't
let me ask another question.
Or his names or
what's
his real nickname. They just go Jesus.
Dude, let me ask another question. So what you're saying is at the top of Islam, it's you or one of your mates, right?
Not me, but.
And at the top of Christianity, is it you or is it one of your mates?
Well, me and my mates.
Yep. At the top of Judaism, is it you or one of your mates?
Kind of a mix. Depends.
It's definitely some of you are at the top of Judaism.
Yeah, we control those. They're probably very.
All right.
They had a much harder time corrupting Asian religions. They're much harder.
What about Hinduism? Are you guys at the top of Hinduism?
Oh no!
All right.
We are not corrupt.
No, that's a good. Okay.
If you ask any demon, our least favorite religion,
obviously you're upset
Hinduism.
About that.
That is our least favorite religion. Hinduism and Buddhism, we hate them.
All right. So those two religions have not been infected by your work to the point that you would like?
Oh, they have been infected. Like, there are bad monks. The Dalai Lama, the real Dalai Lama was assassinated and is now replaced with an actor that belongs to the cabal.
Maybe. Like, I'll take your word for it. I haven't checked. And the left-hand path of Hinduism, Agora, is that yours?
Parts of it.
Well, does that mean like Hinduism has a black magic branch, has a black magic arm? Are you involved in that?
Yes, of course. Hinduism is like, if we have to say the big war going on, it's trying to corrupt that because it's the oldest religion. It's gone on for the longest. It's not thousands of years old. In some ways, it's millions of years old. And it has taken so long. And so we do everything we can to nail and hit it. And because India and Australia are the two centers of Lemuria, and makes it very, very much of a prize target. The two oldest religions in the world are Hinduism, and the oldest type of faith is the Dreamtime of the Aboriginals of Australia, are two of the oldest they say they're the two oldest known religions, and that's why they were the center of Lemuria, and so there are two main targets. One no one knows about. No one knows about the Dreamtime. They think it's the Dreamtime because they're in a dream.
No. The black fellas keep it to themselves.
No one knows about that. But Hinduism is worshipped by hundreds of millions of people, so that one is not a good. And sex, that's where we control it. We use the sex to keep people close into one sect, that they are controlled. Instead of being able to pray to Brahma and be close with Vishnu, Shiva, Durga, Saraswati, all these cursed deities at the same time, they're only stuck to one sect. And that's why people who aren't and that's why true Hindus don't care about the sex. They just pray to what they believe in. They pray to whatever they need. And that's what made this boy such a hard target, is he discovered Hinduism, and instead of being like into sex, he just prayed to those deities, as well as being Christian and praying to the Buddha. So that's what made it harder for us to get him. And and it bought him time for you to help him too. So
yeah, I'm bemused.
Also, Alabar, I will be, the only reason I'm doing this is publicity, but also I can't be giving away too many of my secrets and too much information unless Lucifer gets payment. I've done my philanthropy, so for now, I'm done. Unless you want to talk about myself, I'm kind of done for now.
Yeah, okay. I think you've spoken about enough topics well enough to make sense. So my next question really is something along the lines of, how much longer do you expect to be present here on Earth?
Till the rapture. There's two ways it's going to go. Otherwise you continue to cut down the rapture by year from 9, 10, 9, 8, 7, all the way to like it could be in a year's time. But most likely there is a set date with how the events in the world will play out. We'll eventually get to a point where Apollo will come out and physical demons will start being present again. So, and that's when we get close. Are you
talking about CERN?
No, Apollo here in Australia.
But because CERN is built around a town on the French-Swiss border, and I forget the name of the town, but it's a ley line intersection, and the god of that town was Apollo.
Exactly. No, that's bringing the energy in. It got trapped. The reason he's here.
Then what is it for?
Australia is where everything is. It was one of the centers of Tartaria and Lemuria. It is where everything is going down. That's why it just happened that Alabar and the boy both live here in Australia, and it's why everything seems to be coming here. Why all the celebrities are running here. When things get hard, but then why Uluru is so closed up at the same time, because it's a chakra of the earth.
Yeah. So what is CERN for?
CERN's to bring the energy stronger. It's basically to start making it easier to bring physical demons, which physical demons exist as monsters, but they're not as present as they used to, because demon hunters like you, but like supernatural, the Winchester brothers, physical hunters like that will kill the monsters, or they'll kill them physically. They'll use guns, knives. Demon slayers will use the power of the elements and kill them off.
I would love that.
The Japanese demons
would love to load up a shotgun and go looking for one of these things. I would love that. That would be like
Oh,
Christmas.
you'll get that. You'll get that soon enough. They'll become much more common, and you won't have to go looking too far to
So
find.
where are they coming from if it's not CERN?
Well, from hell, and they're being created physically too. But CERN gives them the energy to be present. It acts as a portal. There's a video game series called Doom, which is about demons coming through portals from Mars, and that's basically what they're doing. They are coming through. Physical demons will be brought through the portals using the hell energy, and then they can do whatever they want from there. They can go and hide wherever they want.
So you must be desperate if you're importing physical demons, but
It was the plan all along. It was the plan.
where are you getting them from?
There's two ways. Leviathan is because he's a monster. He's not actually. There are three types. There's AI, there's demons, and there's monsters. Monsters are types of demons. But the main line they come from is Leviathan, being the ancient monster. He created the physical demons. He allows. Well, right now he's kind of chained up. He's been captured. So his demons right under him. Often what happens too with these physical demons is why we like them a lot is they have two stages. Often when they get killed, if they're strong enough, we can take the dark energy from Kamaloka or wherever they get trapped and try to make a new demon from that, like part 2.
Yeah, but
we've done that with many of the
Japanese. My crew will master that. My crew will master that technology and take that option out of your hands.
They stopped using it 100 years ago when the last physical demons were killed in Japan. So it sounds like Leviathan was taking human beings that were corrupt, horrible, terrible human beings, just people that were bad, and he would inject them with his blood, and they would physically turn into demons. And that's how they were able to be both a human in a physical form, but a demon because they.
And then there's werewolves, vampires, those sort of monsters.
So that also sounds very, very similar to
vampirism.
Black goo infection.
Yeah, it's vampirism too. And vampires, and some of these monsters are starting to have to become spiritual. Like there are spiritual vampires where they suck your energy, like a bit like a demon sucks flesh. There are spiritual. Most jinn now are spiritual. They're basically just spiritual. Jinn are pretty much gone now.
They got destroyed by the sun. They threw a huge attack on Brandon and I.
And
a few weeks ago. It was massive. We had hundreds of them on us. We were being drowned in them. And the sun just hit them so hard. And I get the feeling that they're down to nothing now. They're just the smallest numbers.
And Alabar's team and a bunch of people have cut them down. And so they've moved themselves from physical to spiritual. And that's caused them to die much more easily. Physical are often... spiritual can sometimes be stronger, but physical can be stronger too. Depends. I can switch. Truly, the strongest will be spiritual, but they're so strong they can make themselves physical. Like me, like Satan, like all of us, the strongest ones. But then there'll be some that we've taken, like the Japanese demons that are physical, but they get to have a second chance. You could almost say as spiritual demons, and that all jinn, which can switch themselves from spiritual and make themselves harder to find, but it makes them easier in the astral plane. You don't have to fly all the way to wherever they're hiding, Egypt or Morocco, and go out with a hunting knife and a bunch of weapons and try to kill them.
Yeah.
But
I somehow don't think you'll have much success with that.
We're switching them back to physical.
What I'm more concerned about.
Demon hunters are spiritual. They're not going around with swords anymore.
I get you. You want to bring physical demons here, and there are pros and cons for having physical or spiritual demons.
That's why we want guns in America
gone. Weaknesses.
That's why the Democrats were going to try to get police removed from places and guns removed too. Because once physical demons start coming, hunters will appear like you, and they'll start taking a shotgun and loading them up with weapons. And so it would make it much easier when there's no guns around, and we can just walk in and take over wherever we want.
Yeah, I still don't think you're going to have much luck with that.
No, but it will be easier.
I really don't.
It'll make. Do you know what? Now the Rapture become a big battle. We want it to be like a big cinematic battle, so Lucy can have this epic last stand.
Yeah, look, it's yeah, I don't think it's going to go that way. I'm actually far more concerned with you guys possessing AI robots. You guys taking over those robots.
And the Matrix happening, or the the Terminator. So
I'm much more concerned
Uncle
about that.
Uncle Lucy's gonna say goodbye. But if you would like to, you could say the new Beelzebub of hell.
No, like I think we've had enough from you guys, to be honest.
Would you like to talk to
Another day.
the Japanese
Like, I've
demons?
got
I
other
want
things
to
I
talk
have
to
to
you
do.
about for a long time. I don't get along with the number one, but the number two Japanese demon I like very much sometimes.
You ramble a lot, mate. You ramble a
You want
lot.
to see him? He's got 6 eyes. You'll like him a lot.
So, is there
He
any
hates Brennan.
final message for humanity that you'd like to share
He
with us
hates you. He hates the boy too. He's had a
Is
history
there
with him in
any-
the past.
now? Is there any final message for humanity that you would like to share now?
Well, humanity will perish in many ways. Enormous amounts of human lives will be slaughtered. Animals will be destroyed. So much will be taken away. But, well, it looks like both sides will
Well, look,
both sides
my
will be blown
response to
together
that
in a
is-
big fire explosion. If you go down, we go down. That's what we're doing. Or if we
my
go down.
response to all of that is in your dreams, buddy. In your dreams.
Yeah, I know, but
The only protection you ever had was the fact that we were ignorant of you and your games. And now
still,
that's no longer true.
and messages, we will, just like you
Yeah.
say, we'll keep fighting to the end. We're never going to give up. Well,
I know.
we are just as, you could say now, we're just as much as selfless heroes. We will fight and we will cause as much death and chaos, and we will kill and slaughter as many as we can.
Thanks for your time, Lucky Luke. I would say it's a pleasure. It just ain't true. Bye for now.
You've been